Hello. Today, I want to talk about what I call covert lanes. What they are, how to identify them in yourself, why they are a threat, and what to do about them. A covert lane is an emotional, mental, or spiritual backdoor left open. It is a way for dishonesty to sneak in. It is a way for malicious justification to take residency in the house of your soul. A covert lane is a side door you leave ajar that can have unintended and unwanted consequences. It is a quiet form of corruption that may leave you dirtier than you wish to be. I will use a common scenario to help you see how to identify covert lanes inside yourself or others. In terms of relationships, one of the most common ways a covert lane may manifest itself would be something like you stalking your soulmate's social media instead of speaking to them, or them stalking you. Stalking social media is a covert lane because it is a dishonest way of connection. It is sneaky, a side door one can use to justify entry into the lives of others without their direct consent and without accountability. Instead of knocking on the front door and saying hello, you sneak into the side door and claim a small residency into their lives without their direct consent. That is the wrong way to go about things. You do not sneak into the side door of someone you love. You knock and ask to come in. That is why I consider this a covert lane. A sneaky side entry that you pay no price for because it's technically fair due to social media being largely public. It's a loophole in terms of honest dynamics. Intention matters. Are you avoiding making a hard choice of direct communication by using covert lanes? Another common covert lane is the inverse. You post on social media specifically for your twin instead of direct communication. This way, you can sneak words and ideas out of your side door instead of using the front, where you are held responsible for your words. People use these tactics for plausible deniability reasons, as a way to avoid dealing with being turned down by their alleged twin or soulmate. Because if you don't directly communicate, you can then claim that it was never meant for them in the first place, as a way to justify avoiding rejection, a way to avoid the truth. Why covert lanes are a threat and why you should do something about them is simple enough. We want to see ourselves as honest and with integrity. Our souls should be clean, solid. Using loopholes and sneaking into back doors is inherently wrong on the basis that you would not do that to somebody you love. You cannot claim you love somebody and then violate their privacy, even if it's technically fair game. Covert lanes and back doors are a threat to yourself on the basis that you are purposefully keeping a lane open that promotes limbo. By leaving a side door open, you are allowing yourself to avoid making a true decision of either knocking on the front door or leaving their property entirely. This will slowly corrode your own self-worth. Covert lanes are a threat to the other person as well because if they do not want you there, or have already told you they do not want to speak to you, you would be slowly corroding their trust and independence to choose whether they want you to be there or not. Therefore, in order to avoid slowly corroding yourself and others, avoid violation and being violated, and avoid getting your soul dirty with sneaky tactics, you must close these covert lanes and make the hard choice of knocking on the front door or vacating the property. If you are the one stalking, that means you stop, and you either knock on the front door or you leave. If you are the one being stalked, that means you may want to state firmly you do not consent to being watched. Then put your social media on private. Allowing someone to watch you freely while you suffer their inaction is technically enabling. Control what you can. You have a right to express yourself, so long as you're not aiming your posts at the other person with the intention of keeping them hooked into this covert limbo. Last but not least, it's worth mentioning for the spiritually entangled folk that, theoretically, leaving your side door open for covert lanes means any unknown, potentially malicious entity can access you. Whether you believe that can happen or not doesn't mean you should risk it. It may be an avenue worth considering that you may have left open. In real life, we do not leave our doors unlocked because strangers may test whether or not they are able to get in. You must treat your spiritual, emotional, and digital life in much the same way as your physical life. Protect yourself. Leave no stone unturned and no door unlocked. Thank you.